Hi guys, well with about 12 weeks to go till my 200-mile ultramarathon, as well as the physical training, I've been doing a lot of mental training as well, because running an ultramarathon is every bit as much a mental process as it is a physical one. Having the right mindset can really help you to get through and push when times get difficult, and really can make the difference between completing and DNFing, did not finish. In this video, I'll be sharing my top 5 tips for techniques I use to help me stay focused and push through when things get tough. So whether you're training for an ultramarathon yourself or maybe just want to extend your long distance running, hopefully you'll find something in this video of interest. Oh, before we get started, could I just ask you a quick favour? Would you mind liking this video and also clicking the subscribe button, which should be sort of down there somewhere? That would really help. Thank you so much. By subscribing, it doesn't cost you anything. We also don't inundate you with spam messages or anything, but it just really does help me to grow the channel. And if you like this content, I'll be able to do loads more of it. So if you could do that, fantastic. Thank you so much. Right, let's get on. Here's tip number 1. I really find that obsessing over things really helps. Maybe think of a nice walk you've been on or a run you've done or something like that. But don't just think about it. Retrace every single step. Maybe you want to think of somebody that inspired you and think of how you met them, think of why they inspire you. And really anything to occupy your mind. You'll find that if you do focus on these things and go into it in small detail, actually you've got miles under your belt by the time you stopped. One tip I did hear from somebody was they imagine their dream house and they imagine building it brick by brick. And then when it's finished, they imagine a walkthrough, going through every room in details, visualizing the color, the bathroom space, the living room, etc., etc. And by doing that, you'll find that you can spend ages not thinking about what you're doing, not thinking about running, not thinking how tired you feel, and just thinking of other things. It's a really good distraction. Tell people what you're doing. Put it on social media. Actually, just by recording this video, I'm making myself accountable to you guys, to the people watching it. Also, you might want to put up a sponsorship page, ask people for donations, that kind of thing. And you'll find most people are really supportive. You'll doubtless get a few people that will say, you'll never do that. There's no way you can complete that. And to be brutally honest, I love it when people say that. It really does spur me on. So yeah, put it out there, put it on social media, tell people you're going to do it. And that does give you, when it comes to race day, just an extra thing to think of, that, all these people know that you're doing it and are supporting you and wishing you well. Now, particularly if you are new to ultra running, I'd advise picking a run that has a very generous cut-off time to start with. I found that training from a 200-miler, one of the things in my favour is it's got a very generous cut-off. So I've got 200 miles to run. It's the Wild Horse 200, so it's in Wales, and the cut-off for it is 120 hours. So even if I allow 20 hours for dozing, for getting lost, etc., etc., that still means I need to average 2 miles an hour, which is a very slow walking pace. So I certainly wouldn't say that time isn't a concern, but it's a pressure that's been lifted. Once I did the maths and realised just the rate that I would have to go at, it did certainly ease off a lot of the pressure of the run. And while I obviously need to be aware of the clock, to be honest, if for whatever reason I don't make the Wild Horse 200, I don't think I'm going to get timed out. I think the cutoff is that generous that being timed out is quite unlikely to happen. So if you are looking for a race, try and pick one that has got a generous cutoff. Think how long it'll take you, and then look for one that's got ample cutoff on top of that. Having a mantra really does help. Just a saying that you say over and over to yourself when those dark moments come, because invariably they will. And it can be whatever you want, really. It can be, you've got this, you've smashed this, you've put in months of training for this. This is no problem. Just keep saying it over and over in your mind. Now, for me, when I did my 100-miler, I was pretty harsh on myself in terms of mantras. As soon as that negative voice occurred, I just shut it down. I just said, it's a job that needs doing. Shut the F up and get on with it. And I found that worked very well for me. You might not want to be as harsh on yourself as that. You might want to say something nicer to yourself, but that's what worked for me last time. Without doubt, the most important tip that I can give you is to break it down into smaller chunks. don't think of the whole thing. If, for example, you're doing a 100-mile run and you're a few miles in and you think, oh no, I'm feeling tired already and I've got 95 miles to go, then chances are you're going to struggle with that one. What I tend to do is run from aid station to aid station. So in most runs, aid stations are about 10 miles apart. And I think to myself, I know I can run 10 miles. So that's it, that's my end goal. And I don't worry about going further until I get to that aid station and then stop at the aid station for not too long, refuel, refocus, and then move on to the next aid station. And in terms of overall distance, I don't really start thinking about that until I'm probably at least 75% of the distance done. So if I'm doing a 100-miler, when I get to about 75 miles, I can then tell myself, yeah, I've done 3/4 of this. This is going to happen. This is highly likely that I'm going to finish this one. But before that, when I've done sort of 10, 20%, I don't even think about the distance. I don't think, oh, I've just done 15%. I've got another, I'll work it out, 85% to go, because that would play with your mind. So yeah, just break everything down into smaller chunks and nice manageable chunks into distances that you know that you can run. Hey, can't resist a rope swing. Well, I hope you find those 5 tips of use and that they've helped you as much as they've helped me. Doubtless you'll find other people with other advice as well and take it all on board. And equally, if you've got some tips that work for you, I'm spinning around it. And equally, if you've got some tips that work for you, then by all means drop them in the comments. I would love to hear them. So just a quick reminder, if you haven't already done, if you could like this video and subscribe, that would really, really help. And I will be back with another update on how my training's going, this time for the Wild Horse 200 in Wales. Thank you for watching. Keep living your best life, and I'll be back with another video soon.